Welcome to the lab. I'm Al. This is Marcus. What's happening, bro?
Not too much, man. How you doing?
Oh, man, hanging in there, chilling. What's good with you?
Home, just chilling, man. Just want to tell any of our subscribers, listeners, to check out Trap Sex by NISH. You can find his music on YouTube and SoundCloud. Pretty talented artist, you know. We'll have him on eventually, or soon, I should say. But
And please like and subscribe our
Yes.
YouTube as well. That
Yes.
would be appreciated.
definitely. So what's going on with you, man?
So it looks like we were wrong. I've never been more happy to be wrong
Yeah,
than this past weekend.
that's true.
I did not foresee Patrick Mahomes playing as well as he did, injured as he was,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm glad he pulled it out.
I'm not shocked by that, honestly, man, because we've
Shocked?
seen,
No, I mean, that's Patrick Mahomes.
yeah,
You
like
can't be
we've seen
shocked.
this guy, like, you know, get nicked up and then come out, you know, even in the Jacksonville game when he got hurt, like he came back and played really well. Like the dude is just never seen anything like it, man. The talent, just
And I see folks hating. I guess they're trying to claim that that third down play that they allowed them to redo.
that's a little weird.
That had, weird or not, they didn't score on that drive. So nonetheless, that's null and void.
What about the block in the back on the
And
kickoff though, on the punt return?
the who?
The block in the back on the punt return, Sky Moore's punt return that set them up. Now I'll say this: the unnecessary roughness, that's a fair call, man. Like you got to know you can't, you know what I'm saying? Like I understand he's a rookie and this is like the biggest moment
And
of
look,
his
he
career.
played
He played great.
played out his mind
He
that
did.
whole
He
game.
did.
One mistake. Now, granted, that one mistake. Here's the thing: even if he doesn't commit that penalty,
Mm-hmm.
they're still going to get in position to kick that field goal.
I think so too. Yeah.
So only one of his teammates literally had his back at the end of the game.
Yeah.
And, the rest of them were cursing him.
We've seen that.
And
They've
all I can say to
apologized.
yeah.
The guys have been apologizing for how they reacted. You know, the heat
Oh,
of the moment.
they should apologize because they're all straight assholes. And I'm pretty sure they're being told to apologize.
Yeah.
I don't think their apologies are sincere. The only person that was sincere was the one dude that was consoling him on the sideline. That one dude. Was that BJL?
I think so. Former New York Giant.
Yeah.
DJ Hill.
Yeah, exactly. That one dude. That was the only dude that had his back. The rest of them, yeah, say you're sorry all you want to. I'm pretty sure your people told you to say you were sorry and you don't mean it. But nonetheless, those guys that are being mad, they did nothing. What was homeboy's name again? Osai?
I think that's how you pronounce it. Osai.
I
Yeah.
should have been prepared with that, but either way, he played lights out.
He did, man.
Those rest of those dudes talking shit, you just shut the fuck up.
It's just one of those plays, man. You gotta know, like, 300-pound dude, 280, 290, whatever he is, full head of steam. Like, it's kind of hard to, like, pull up. And he kind of hurt his knee on that play. Like, when
And
he,
that
like,
play wasn't malicious.
No. So that's one of those things is like, I understand it by the letter of the law. Like he was outside, like he was out of bounds. He was giving himself up the play, but it's also like, I don't know, man. It was, like you said, it wasn't malicious. It wasn't like a dirty play, but I understand it. And I wasn't like shocked by that call. I feel like that's not what lost that game for them. Cincinnati had opportunities to take that game over, and I wouldn't say like run away with it, but they had opportunities to put themselves in better position. And their O-line
How many
again
interceptions did Joe B throw?
I think he threw 2. Even with those
there
2,
you
they
go.
still had a shot. Even with those 2,
Mm-hmm.
the offensive line, like that last drive, with Chris Jones getting home like that on the third, it was a 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8. Like,
Man,
again, Joe Burrow's offensive line fails him. Like, that's just, I hope that's not his story. Like, in 5 years, I hope that's not what we're talking about, is like how he hasn't succeeded because he's beat up. Because we see what happened with Andrew Luck. He got beat up enough. He was like, I don't want to do this no more. So
yeah.
I'm not saying, I'm not putting that on Joe. I'm just saying, like, they need to, it's not,
Protect him.
yeah, like I've seen they like reshuffled that line. Like, y'all need to just put all of your stock into doing that now. Like T. Higgins' contract's coming up. I don't think they're going to re-sign him. But you need to fix that offensive line.
There's
Like, that's the main
there's
thing.
talk of him. I'm telling you, that talk of him coming here is big time.
Hey, man, I'm with that.
And dude, the talk of Saquon going to Chicago, look, I don't know, man. They're saying they might not want to. They're saying New York might not want to give him the money he wants because he wants to get McCaffrey money.
No, but he said that he didn't want that, though. He said that he didn't want to reset the market. And, like, I know that there's a report that they offered him, like, 12 or something like that. And I'm like, that's low. But, again, like, how much do you value the position? Like, I think 13 or 14 and a half, that sounds about right, Because, like, the annual, it's not really even about that. Like I said, it's just make the contract a certain way to where he can make an extra mil, 2, 3, hitting certain incentives, but make his base salary like reflect what, the player that he is, because he is a fantastic player. And at the very least, they have the franchise tag. Like, there's no way that Saquon Barkley's not playing for the Giants next year, in my opinion. Even if it might just be next year, but I don't see them letting him leave, as important as he is to what they did this year. And I've heard the stories like, oh, Daywell came from Buffalo. They like to throw the ball around. I'm like, that's what they did in Buffalo because that was like the personnel they had. My thing is, if they'd had a running back like Saquon Barkley in Buffalo, they'd probably have a Super Bowl or 2 by now too. With what they've already, what they already have. So I don't.
Yeah, because with him, the play action
it's unstoppable.
becomes big time for your offense.
So
I mean, if we lose him, are you okay with Montgomery taking his place?
No. If Saquon Barkley leaves the Giants, I might be questioning my fandom at that point. I might fall back a little bit.
Oh, dude, I already got my backup team. Look, I've been a Patrick Mahomes fan since he's coming to the league.
Yeah, I love Patrick Mahomes.
So it would be very easy for me to just jump ship.
Yeah.
Because win, lose, or draw, I'm a big Andy Reid fan, Patrick Mahomes fan. I mean,
because as much as I love the Giants, when they traded Odell, like that was a lot.
That was a stinger.
Yeah, that was a lot.
That was a stinger.
Because I was like, I didn't think that, and I understand what came from that. Dexter Lawrence's draft pick was, potentially is what came from that. So I don't hate it because Dexter Lawrence is, what he is.
For me, when we lost Odell,
that was heavy.
It stung. But it was only because, I'm also an Orlando Magic fan, and I'm pretty sure you're familiar with how they handle their organization. I mean, we're looking good now, but, nonetheless, losing key players, losing big-time players, I've been accustomed to. But if we lose Saquon, man, we better get something really, really good for him.
If we lose Saquon, we better turn into the Buffalo Bills. Like Daniel Jones needs to be Josh Allen. You need to go get you a Stephon Diggs, like a number 1. You need to draft a number 2 that's going to be nice, or Isaiah Hodgins and step into that. Like, you need to.
The T. Higgins thing might be true, man.
Even with T. Higgins, like, if I'm T. Higgins and I want to go to New York, I want Saquon Barkley there. Because that's going to make it easier for me. Because now, what are you going to load the box? Okay, I'm getting one-on-ones. Or you want to, like, play off Saquon, and Saquon's going to go crazy. Like, if they had it, like, I sort of keep saying the year that him and Odell played together, yes, we were not good that year. But if you, this season was his best season because, he's coming back.
Eli was our quarterback that year, right?
Eli was still there. But, like,
yeah, our offensive line's not.
Our line was bad.
Worse.
And our defense wasn't very good either. you know. But
Yeah, that team was terrible,
when
man.
you look at, when you look at the way Saquon played, when you have a threat
Mhm.
on the outside, that dude is. You remember his rookie season, man? That was like some of the craziest stuff we've ever seen. Even with the losing, it's like, oh my God, look at what he's doing on the field. So you put a dog out there at wide receiver one. Hey man, sky's the limit. And I keep telling people the offensive line is bad. It's not bad. We have two cornerstones, I feel, on our tackle. Our tackles, Andrew Thomas is already one of the best. Evan Neal will
And we
become
need
that.
2 more. We
We
need 2
need we
more,
need two interior linemen. Yes.
and they need backups, okay? Because
I don't
apparently our offensive linemen like to get hurt.
I don't mind the backups that we're gonna have next year. Because the guys that we drafted, I feel like last year, I feel like they might develop into something. I don't know, sentimental. I would want to keep Nick Gates because of everything he's been through and like captain and all that good stuff he's done for the Giants. But
Look,
you
man,
got
if
to
you
keep,
can't stay on the field,
yeah,
you
you got
gotta
to
go.
keep him with a
You gotta go.
caveat. Like
You
I
gotta
need
go.
to have somebody
Mhm.
here that can play in case, you know. Because I'm like, if Nick Gates is our starting center going into the season, I feel like we didn't do justice to what we were supposed to do to that line. You know what I mean? I think he's a good player, and he'll be even more healthy next year. Like Lemieux, if he can stay on the field, dude. Like they showed our record with him on the game in the game. It's crazy. Like he just gets hurt, like all the time. But when he's out there,
Like,
he's fantastic.
if those guys can be in the rotation to where it's not solely on them,
Hmm.
to where the offensive line stays fresh,
Yeah,
we control the ball, then I'm okay with that. But when we're relying solely on some of these guys, literally they've proven that, hey, they're just not durable. I don't
that's
know,
true.
man. I don't know if it's what's that, our medical staff that's not good enough.
We've just been having
I don't.
bad luck, man, for years now. It's not just this year; it's just been years.
Mm.
So I don't know,
But
man.
next year, I expect us to look way better, way better.
Yeah,
Hopefully, they're going to address the offensive line issue,
and
a
linebacker.
backup for Dexter Lawrence,
When
and some additional key players
I want some
to help
linebackers too,
Dexter.
like middle linebackers. That's what I want.
And there's talk that I don't know if it's a suggestion that was being made that the Giants should try to bring Bradbury back if he's open to it.
I'm not against it.
Would he?
No, we definitely
What is
need
he?
a
29?
yeah. We definitely need another outside corner. But I was reading this article about the offseason. I feel like we need a playmaker in the secondary. Like I think Xavier McKinney is that, but at safety is you know what I mean. Like there's only so much you can do because like if I know that your safety is that nice, I'm just not gonna throw in his area. So like we need a corner that can like because like Adoree Jackson's fantastic, but if you look at his career, he's only got like a few interceptions in his whole career. Like he doesn't have a lot. Like we need like a dude that can like turn the ball over. So I mean Bradbury can be that. He was amazing his first season with us. Pro Bowl,
Yeah.
everything. Like he was picking the ball off, like past defenses, all that. So I mean, if that's an option, I know that they didn't want to let him go, but that was like surely a financial thing because Gettleman contracts that he was giving out back in 2019, 2020 caught up to us this year because we had no money to do anything. Going into next year, or going into this offseason, I should say, we have like the third highest amount of cap space.
Was it like 44 mil?
Oh, it's like 56, I think.
Yeah.
And you got, or it might be 44. You might be right. But if you factor in the Kenny Galladay post June 1st, release that's going to happen, it'll be up into the 50s, 60s, So
Oh, good.
they've got money to do some stuff. And if you look at it, it's not like a bare canvas, like the cover's not empty. We have a lot of good players in key spots. We just need to supplement what we have. And like you said, get some backups that can like step in case. Leonard Williams got to take a pay cut.
Well,
Or
not just in case, because like with Dexter Williams, whenever he needed a breather,
Mm.
teams would just literally run right through where he would be.
Yeah.
For some reason, whoever was backing him up or coming in to relieve him
Mm-hmm.
just was a bum. I mean, I don't know how else to say it.
I mean, there's guys that we have that we just didn't have available this year or at the end of this year. Injuries happen. So, but I look at what we have. I think there's a few spots in particular that we should upgrade, like corner, outside corner. Like Fabian Moreau he's cool. He did a good job this year, but I like to have him as depth, not as my other outside corner with Adoree Jackson. And then Darnay Holmes, like as good as I think he is in the slot, it's like his contract's coming up too. Bro, I'm just thinking about the future. Like, okay, this year you got Saquon, Daniel Jones, Julian Love. Those are like the three big ones, right? But then next year you have like Andrew Thomas and Dexter Lawrence or something like that. And then Xavier McKinney's coming up too. You know what I mean? Like, and not too long from now, Kayvon Thibodeau and Evan Neal's contracts. Like, so looking at everything that is like, there's certain players that I'm like, I can understand it if they're not here next year, especially if they're like, they should want upgrade or like pay raises. Like a lot of those guys perform well and they should go get their money. But at the same time, it's like, are we going to be that much different of a team if Darnay Holmes is not our slot corner? I don't think so. Like he's good, but I tell you, this kid, Cordell Flat, the third round pick, he's going to be good. And he's an outside guy. So honestly, it almost makes me think about him in that sense of him starting outside of Adoree. I don't hate that idea. And that was a mistake we made. We should have had him start the game on Devontae Smith. They know each other. They played each other in college a lot. He knows his game. Bro, they're built physically like very similar. He's fast like that too. So I don't know. But again, Philly, perfect segue. Philly, what they did to San Francisco made me feel a little bit better as a Giants fan because I was like, at least they dogged them too. It's not like they just dogged us and nobody else. Like they dogged them too.
14 of those points,
Mm-hmm.
14 of Philadelphia's points.
Mm-hmm.
Their first score on that fourth down play, that wasn't a catch.
No.
Okay. And then they score on that. And then I think it was the following drive.
Mm.
The refs did everything they could to help them out to get downfield for them to score. Now, you know, there were other drives where, you know, it was them. They did their thing. But if San Francisco doesn't lose Brock Purdy,
yes,
I don't think that, man, now granted, hey,
I think
we
Philly might
can't say
still
what
win.
if, you know.
I think Philly might
I
still
don't
win
know.
it, but if you have Brock Purdy in that game and you can actually have him throw passes,
Yeah,
bro, when I seen McCaffrey lining up, taking the Wildcat formation, I'm like, oh no, because when Josh Johnson, we were talking about this at my job, like he's not even an NFL quarterback. Let's be completely honest, bro. And I'm not even trying to shit on him or nothing, but like he's the fourth string, bro.
and I told Micah
Most
he's
teams
been in
only
the league
keep
for
two.
13
Yeah.
years.
Most teams only keep two quarterbacks. This year we kept Daniel Jones, Tyrod Taylor. We didn't even have a third. You know what I mean? Because you remember the game that Daniel got hurt and the Tyrod came in and he got hurt and Daniel had to go back out there.
He had to come back.
That was the
And
same
that's
thing in San
literally what happened
Francisco.
to San Fran.
Yeah. Bro, Brock
And I
Purdy
mean-
couldn't even throw a pass. He couldn't even throw down the field. He has
Nope.
what is it? A tear in his elbow. Well, he might need Tommy John surgery. Like it.
And I don't think Philly wins if
I'll say they definitely wouldn't win that way. If I mean, I don't know. I tend to feel like that Billy was like the perfect thing for San Francisco. Like, as good as San Francisco's defense is, if you have like outside guys and a quarterback that can like get busy, like you saw what Kansas City did to San Francisco. Like, if you have that, like they're like the perfect team to battle San Francisco. But
but you see
they
how
definitely wouldn't have
well
went that way though. Like if Purdy
but
was
San
hurt,
Fran's
wasn't hurt,
D
yeah,
San Fran's D gave their offense the ball a ton.
yeah,
Their offense just couldn't do anything.
yeah.
Again, Brock Purdy in there,
That's true, man. I feel for the
but
49ers because that was brutal, man. That
and
was
I was
brutal.
terrible. I was
Yeah.
terrible. For your backup to come in there and just get smacked. I don't even think he got hit. He got smacked.
Yeah.
I get knocked out.
And what happened with Purdy, I watched
That's
that play, the way his elbow bent, like, ooh, wee. And he got back out there. What did he throw? 2 passes? But they were like both screens.
mm-hmm.
They were like short
Mm-hmm.
dump offs. Bro, his elbow, he has like
And they
a
didn't look
tear in
good.
it. Yeah, he has a tear in his elbow. That kid, for one, is tough. And like, I was reading this thing about them today. They were talking about him and Trey Lance. You know, Trey Lance will be back by training camp because he got hurt so early in the season. But they're talking about Purdy,
Mm-hmm.
like, if he can avoid Tommy John, then he should be back by training camp too. But if he has to have Tommy John surgery, he's out of here. Like, he's probably out next season
Damn.
because that's one of those, like, that's like the pitchers get that surgery a lot, like when you tear like ligaments in your elbow. But I mean,
Oof.
I hope for his sake that he doesn't have to do that. But that's brutal, man. That's brutal. I
Yeah,
feel for
that
them.
play just looks.
And
It
like
looked bad.
the 49ers had such a great season, man. It sucks that it ended that way. And it's like, it almost, I don't want to say it's not fair because, you know, it's the NFL, people are going to get hurt. But it's just like, damn, man.
Mm-hmm.
I would have liked to see them with Purdy, like what they could have done. Because I thought they would have looked fine. Like, he's been lighting the league up, you know? And as good as Philly's defense is, like, I'm going to go ahead, like,
I
I
think he
know,
would have lit. I think he would have lit Philly's defense up, man.
yeah.
I think he would have lit them up.
Like, I know at
They
some
look
point,
good because
oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Philly's defense looked good because San Francisco had no way to move the offense.
Except running the
That's
ball.
the only reason why Philly's defense looked good because
Uh-huh.
I don't think they had enough to stop Kittle, Debo, and Ayuk,
Yeah.
and their run game.
Yeah. McCaffrey and Elijah Mitchell. Yeah.
Losing Purdy the way they did, I got to say, more or less just demoralized the team.
It did. The defense still got busy, though.
Oh yeah, they
And I'll
they
say
tried to give
this.
their offense a chance.
Nick Bosa, man.
Oh,
Holy shit.
come to New York.
His contract, hey, San Francisco going to have to pay that man. They're going to have to
Come
pay
to
him.
New York.
Bro, he's going to be the highest paid defensive player in history with his contract. I think
That dude is a big.
he's going into his 5th year.
Him or his brother. I'll take him or his brother.
I'll take Nick.
I-
I take Nick over Joey. I think Joey's fantastic, but Nick's a little younger. I think Nick's better too. And it's crazy,
so?
like, yeah, with the younger brothers, like the pass rushers especially. Like, I think JJ is like one of the greatest pass rushers ever. I think TJ might be a little bit better though. Like, he's faster at least. He might not be as strong, but his the
older
Wait.
brothers set the bar.
That's true. But you see what Pittsburgh looked like when TJ got hurt. They were terrible. Bro,
Yeah.
Mike Tomlin got them 9 wins this year. TJ came back and they get busy when he's out there. And you know what? Shout out to Mike Tomlin, man. Never had a losing season in 16 years. That's insane. This dude might be the best coach in the league. Like, that's insane. What he did with
And
this
no
team.
one gives him any kind of love. No one gives him any kind of love.
Love Mike Tomlin. Love him. Love that kid.
And Kansas City, Patrick, what a phenomenal game. I
Yeah.
commend the way he played.
Yeah.
And dude,
Definitely
he did
got
that
fans.
with no receivers.
Yeah, all of his guys got hurt. It's crazy.
No receivers. He did this with, and
And Kelsey was hurt too. Kelsey had a back thing going on, but he still
Here's
was
what
out
I
there.
don't get.
Hmm.
Isaiah Pacheco, the rookie.
Mm-hmm.
The dude is a monster every time you give him the ball.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get why he's getting less than 10 touches on the ball. Because he could set up the play action, especially when you're losing your receivers like this.
Yeah.
And that could help Kelsey too. Now, the other two backs that they have, what was it, McKinnon and
Isn't Clyde Edwards-Helaire? Is he
he's
still there?
hurt. He's
Oh,
hurt.
he's hurt. Okay, I've been
Yeah.
wondering where he's been
Mhm.
this whole time. Like I haven't seen him
Yeah,
in
he's
weeks.
hurt.
Okay,
He's hurt. So it's
McKinnon.
Pacheco who's been
Yeah,
it's Pacheco, McKinnon, and there's somebody else
mm-hmm.
who catches the ball.
You know what that says to
McNair's.
me though? I feel like Kansas City don't trust their offensive line. I think they've got great pass blocking offensive linemen, but I don't think they trust them to run the ball. Cause you know Andy Reid's smart, bro. Like I know like he liked to air it out with KC, with Mahomes, but he's the dude that he drafted Shady McCoy, right? And like Shady was getting busy in Philly. Like Brian Westbrook, he had him, right? And like they ran, like Brian Westbrook would lead the league in rushing. Like, you know what I mean? Like I feel like they don't trust their offensive line to block, or like they don't trust them to like be able to set the run up, which is crazy to me because it would, like you said, it would benefit Kelsey, it would benefit your receivers. Hell, it would benefit Patrick with
And with
his bum
Pacheco,
ankle.
he's the kind of back that would give you that.
Yeah.
Because the way he goes up the middle, I mean, my man goes in there with a full head of steam every time they give him the
Mm-hmm.
ball.
Yeah.
So at least give this man the ball the first 2 downs just to see, because he gets you an easy 3 yards each play,
Yeah.
sometimes more, depending on how the line is, because the line isn't, it really isn't that great as you're saying, but he'll get you.
I think they've got good linemen. I just think they're built to pass. You know what I mean? Like Orlando Brown is a humongous human being. He ain't gonna be good, like, pulling and stretching, you know what I mean, to like get a run play off. Their guards aren't really built for that. I'll say this, their center, Creed Humphrey, he's one of the 2 or 3 best centers in the league. He can do that kind of stuff. But you remember the Super Bowl where they lost to Tampa? And the way that Mahomes got done in that game, like how quickly they were getting him. You remember that offseason, they got rid of every single one of those linemen and retooled that whole line. They brought in Tooney, and I think Tooney's more of a pass blocker. He came from New England. New England, like, they run the ball a little bit, but, like, you know what I mean? Like, they're not known for that kind of stuff. So I just feel like it's like it's really dependent on, like, what your skill, like what your offensive lineman skills are. I feel like they've built that as like a pass blocking. Because you see, Mahomes usually has pretty good time. I mean, he improvises and does stuff, but like he's not like Daniel Jones was last year, where as soon as you hike the ball, somebody's on your hip already.
Or like
It's
Joe
rare.
Burrow was.
Yeah, or like perfect example, how Burrow was in this past 2 years. So like, I don't know. I understand what you're saying, though. I think Pacheco, he could get busy if they would run the ball. And like you said, it would set up the play action, and nobody would expect it because you have not been doing that. So, I don't know.
But hey, man, if they're not going to,
I know
I
at
don't
some
know what
point
his contract is looking like, but I'd love to see Pacheco and Saquon split carries.
Hey, they're not going to let him go, man. Kansas City, they ain't going to let him go. But
I mean, they have those 2 other guys. They love giving the ball to those 2 other guys.
That's true. I think it might be because he's a rookie too, man. Like most rookies and with Andy Reid, they don't do a lot. Think about it. When Shady McCoy was a rookie,
I would agree if Pacheco was spilling the ball.
But even McCoy, like when he was in Philly, they still had Brian Westbrook. So like McCoy didn't really do much. Patrick Mahomes, granted, Alex Smith was playing pretty good football. Travis Kelce's rookie year, he didn't do much. Tyreek Hill. Like, I think that's like an Andy Reid thing. Like, unless you're just like a superhuman rookie, I feel like even Mahomes, as great as he is, you mean to tell me Patrick Mahomes wasn't better than Alex Smith when he drafted him. Like, come on, bro. We know he was. And that's no disrespect. Alex Smith is awesome. But come on.
Yeah, Alex was playing well at that time.
He
so,
was.
You know, you can't.
But, hey,
Yeah.
listen. I think what Mahomes did his second season, which was technically his rookie season, dude won the MVP. He threw like 50 touchdowns. Like, I feel like he would have did that same thing the season before. Like, what makes me, you know what I mean? Like, what evidence do we have to think that he wouldn't have done it? But I just feel like that's an Andy Reid thing with the, cats being rookies. Deshaun Jackson, like all these fantastic players he's had. I'm trying to think of the rookie that like got busy. None of them when they first come in.
And I hope we get to see Patrick win 7 or 8 rings, just like Tom Brady, just to solidify that GOAT status, or at least take it away from Brady.
I know at some point we'll do like, we got a couple weeks to the big one, so we'll like do predictions and talk more about it and everything. But I'm going to throw an early prediction out. I think Kansas City is going to win. And I don't even think it's going to be that close. And that's no disrespect to Philly, even though, fuck the Eagles.
So that's all disrespect to Philly.
I don't want to disrespect them. I'm gonna give them their love.
I want to.
They got to the conference championship for the first time since 2017. Good for them. And you know what? You know what sucks? There's a lot of Eagle players I like, bro. Like, I love Darius Slay. Love Bradbury. I love Jalen Hurts, bro. Miles, check this out. Miles Sanders, right? You know Miles Sanders was Saquon's backup in college?
See, all beast, and I love all those guys. But here's who I don't love.
Tell me.
The fans that reside in Philadelphia.
Okay.
Now, I personally know Philadelphia fans.
Mm-hmm.
The ones that I know personally are great people.
Yes.
The ones that live in Philadelphia deserve nothing. They deserve nothing. They're scumbags. They're all scumbags. Okay? What did Philadelphia fans in Philadelphia do when Philadelphia won the Super Bowl?
They did tear up the city.
Do you remember?
They tore up the city. They tore up the city.
Yeah. You know why? Because they're scumbags.
When the New York
Giants won the Super Bowl, they threw batteries at Santa Claus.
That's crazy.
So you know what that says about their fans? They're scumbags.
It's a little rough.
As New Yorkers are the biggest assholes in the world.
Facts.
Did we destroy the city when we won the Super Bowl?
Oh, man, that's our city. We ain't gonna destroy our place.
When the Yankees were getting busy, did the Yankee fans destroy the city when we won the World Series? No, Philadelphia fans, just in Philadelphia. If you're outside of Philadelphia, I got love for you. I'm just talking about the people in Philadelphia. They're scumbags.
I gotta tell you why, though. I gotta tell you there's a reason why they tore the city up like that. They're not used to winning anything, bro. Think about it. Philly sports, they don't win shit. So that's why New York fans, we don't tear shit up, because we win shit. In baseball, we win a lot of World Series, The NFL, like we've got 4 Super Bowls, 7 World Championships. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we win. The Knicks, that's not so much. We won't need to talk about that. We win. Like, Philly's not used to, like, they're not used to.
Yes, I think we got a video. Here's another example of Philadelphia fans being scumbags.
Oh no!
I'm gonna have the wife put up a video. Here you go. See if you're watching on YouTube. Look at these scumbags. You know that shit can't support your weight. You know that shit can't. Look at them, dumbasses.
Wildin'.
I hope all of them got hurt.
Wildin'.
I hope every last one of them got hurt. Look at these dumbasses. Look at that.
Philly be
you fucking morons.
Philly fans be wildin', man.
Can you imagine if they won the Super Bowl? That's just a little taste.
They're gonna tear the city apart again. But they don't have to worry about that. They're not going to win the Super Bowl.
They made it.
They're not going to win the Super Bowl. They're not going to.
They don't deserve.
Andy Reid
I can't wait for you guys to lose.
No, Andy Reid deserves to win his second ring against the team that he coached fantastically for years. When Andy Reid left the division, I was ecstatic, bro. I would love that. Andy
I
Reid
was
had our
tired of getting
number
our ass
every
whipped.
year. We never beat them
Who was
when he
that
was there.
receiver? No,
Which
who was
one?
that receiver that would always? It was a Jackson, Steven Jackson.
Deshaun Jackson.
Yeah, there we go.
Bro,
There we
you
go.
remember the punt return? The game that we were up, what was it, 28 points? And like, or was it
Oh God,
24 points? And then Mike Vick
I was
brought them
so
boys
disgusted.
back. Oh no. And then Deshaun picked that ball up and like what did Tom Coughlin tell I can't remember the punter's name. Oh, it's losing me. What did you tell him? The only thing, don't kick it to
Keep it
him.
away.
Kick it out of bounds. If you kick it out of bounds, guess what? They gotta come up the field to do something. No, you kicked it to him. He picked it up
Right to him.
and like just weaved through the defense. Wasn't that like to get in the playoffs or something too? Like there was like playoff implications.
I believe it kept. Yeah,
Bro,
yeah.
and we will
it was a very big game.
and we were giving them work the whole game. And then about the third, end of the third, middle of the third, they start creeping back. But even with them creeping back, we still had the lead. All you gotta do is kick it away. But you know what? It's neither here nor there. We're gonna get to Philly. I like a lot of their players. I think they're super talented. But
And I don't want them to lose because of the players. I don't want that to get
No.
misconstrued.
no,
It's the fans in Philadelphia. They're scumbags.
I'm not one of those people like, I know like, because I have some Cowboy fans that are friends of mine, and they're like, we talked about, playoffs and everything. And I'm like, I don't want anybody in our division to win anything. If it's not the Giants,
No,
I don't want
absolutely
nobody
not.
to win nothing in this division. So I'm always rooting
Nope.
against this division. I don't
Yep.
care who they're playing.
If it
And
isn't us, I'm rooting against you.
And I happen to like Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce a lot. And I love Andy Reid and Eric Bieniemy. I love the whole Kansas City situation. I love what they're doing. And had it been Cincinnati, I love Joe Burrow as well. So I'm cool. I'm just not cool with Philly. Like, fuck the Eagles.
me
I
neither.
always say that. But they got some great players. And you know what? Fuck the Eagles, but congrats to the players. And,
Absolutely, man. Those
the boys
guys
got it, but-
played great.
yeah, man, they've been the best team in the NFC all season. So all he did was go out there and prove it once again. And then Jalen Hurts didn't play a good game. You can tell he's still a little bit like,
Yeah, he's even said that he's not 100%.
but
He's even said he's not
he
100%.
shouldn't even put that out there because you've seen how Chris Jones looked. And I'll give
Dude,
them.
Patrick Mahomes is not 100%.
No, he's not. But I'll give Philly this: their offensive line is way better than Cincinnati's.
Yeah.
But if the only way, like the games that Philly's lost, they've only lost one game with Jalen starting it and like playing. But the way to beat them, and we all know it, if you can turn them over, that's with anything, make it uncomfortable for them. These, like early in that game, I thought San Francisco had Purdy not got hurt. Like you said, it demoralized everybody, and it's kind of like the defense still got busy, but the offense couldn't do nothing. My thing is, if you give that to Kansas City, like if you play that way against them, you're not dropping that kind of like, if you get 31, Kansas City might have 51.
Yeah.
And my thing is,
Easy.
I don't care who the receiver is. We've watched Tom Brady do this for 23, 24 years. I don't care who the receiver is. If you got that dude back there, it don't matter who it is. You still got Travis Kelce to worry about. I know Juju got hurt and Mecole Hardman, I think he's more important than any of them receivers. And then, Kadarius Toney? And he's always hurt, former Giant. But I'm like, I don't care who it is. You got 15 back there, you're good. You got a shot. You got a shot against anybody, anywhere.
Kadarius, I wasn't even hurt that he left. Because again,
because we never got to
he's
see
just
it.
one of those.
We never
I
got to
just
see
wish
him.
we did the same thing with Sterling Shepard that we did with Kadarius. Instead of just paying this dude to be injured.
No, I know why we didn't with Sterling. Sterling's like a culture guy too, And you know what I love about him? I didn't know this until I was like looking up some stuff. Since he got hurt, was it week 3 against Dallas and New York? He's on the sideline, bro. Like, because he goes, does his rehab and everything, but he's out on the sideline with the team. He was at the playoff game. And they showed him like hyping the dudes up. I was like, see, that kind of stuff is the reason like you keep him. And my thing is he wants to be here. And when he is healthy, he is really good. But at the very least, I would tell Sterling this, like, bro, you know what's happened the last few years. We want you here because you're great for this locker room, you're great for this culture, and you're the longest tenured Giant here. Essentially, at this point, I think. He's been there the longest because he was what, a year or two after Odell. So like,
Yeah.
we want you here, but you gotta understand, like, we can't give you no crazy number. You know, honestly, that minimum sounds kind of disrespectful. But if you put the numbers a certain way to where if you play 80% of the snaps and you catch 50 balls and you get over 700 yards and you get more than 4 touchdowns,
Yeah, give him
all these
bonus
incentives,
incentives.
all these bonuses. So like I would keep Sterling Shepard over all of our free agent receivers. I would take him over all of them. And I love Darius Slayton. And I love his mental too, because this was like a new regime came in. They did not draft you. They do not have no ties to you. And they showed you early on that they don't care because you didn't get to play. And you remember how the season started. Bro, David Sills was out there catching balls. And I'm like, why can't
Yeah.
Kenny Galladay and Darius Slayton get on the field? But when Darius Slayton got on the field, he made plays. Granted, he does drop the ball in key spots. And that's one of those things. It's like, I'm not going to shit on him because, listen, I know for a fact that he does not want to do that. So it's not like it's an intentional thing. So I'm not going to be like really critical. Like, bro, you out there making plays, you trying your hardest. Shit happens. It's going to happen to somebody if it sucks that it happened to you. But I'm saying, like, with the importance of like what I saw out of the players this year, my hierarchy, it would be like Sterling Shepard just for the cultural stuff, like the culture stuff and like, the good vibes and everything he brings. But Isaiah Hodgins would be the priority over Darius Slayton, over Richie James. Again, you draft a receiver, go sign you a number one, even if it's T. Higgins. T. Higgins, what, 25 years old, 24? He's not even hit his prime yet. So if you can go get him or Brandon Ayuk or whatever, whoever it is, go get him. But you still should draft the number one receiver. Like, draft a receiver that can be that guy. And then you just got 2 of those guys. And then you got Hodgins. Or you could put one of them dudes in the slot. I like Wan'Dale Robinson, but like, he's a wee fellow. Heck, he's a little guy. And I don't know. Like, it's cool.
And we haven't seen anything out of him yet. So
He played like the one game he balled out. I think it was against it was a game we lost, I'm pretty sure. It's maybe Detroit, but he got hurt in that game. So it's like, I don't know. Like you said, we haven't seen like a consistent thing with him. And like, you got Sterling Shepard still. If you bring him back, they both play slot. So I don't know. I don't value that slot receiver like other team or like other people seem to. I think it's cool if your system's set up for it, like the Patriots were with Welker and Amendola and Edelman and all of them. But like, I don't think that we need that. Like, if you get 2 outside guys that can get busy, you got a good tight end, a good young tight end. I'd say that might be another position you could upgrade if there's an available option. Go get you another one. I would definitely say corner, offensive line. I mean, but like you said, man, we got the future is bright. This is a great starting point. We're definitely ahead of schedule. And we got to see a lot of good stuff out of a lot of guys we didn't know about. And like Kayvon Thibodeau, like, he's going to get better. He was pretty great already as a rookie. My big thing is Azeez Ojulari. If Azeez Ojulari can get his body right and just have a full season, him and Thibodeau out there,
with him and Kayvon out there, and then Dexter up the middle, and hopefully in addition to Dexter on the line, that would be.
I'm liking
because
it,
think
man.
of it this way: when we were winning Super Bowls, we had. I don't want to go as far as to call him a bum because that would just be disrespectful, but Corey Webster wasn't that great.
But Corey Webster made plays in the big spots, though. He got that interception in
He
overtime
made
against Green
plays,
Bay.
but he gave up more
Oh, he
plays than
definitely
he
gave.
made.
He was out of position, bro. We've been saying that for years. If Corey Webster was the free safety for the Giants, he might be a Hall of Famer because the dude had ball skills and he could tackle. He just wasn't fast. He just wasn't
But
fast
our
enough.
front, but
But
at that time,
they
our
protected
front,
him. Yeah, they protected him.
they were great.
Yeah,
So, I'm just saying, if we have a great front, even with
NASCAR.
the guys we have back there,
Mhm.
I still think we can do big things.
Yeah, we got that NASCAR
Because the
package.
pass rush
Right?
is dead. Are we keeping our defensive coordinator?
I see that he interviewed for I think it was Indy. I think he is though, because he was saying that this was like a destination job for him. Because like even if he gets offered a head coaching job, it's like you shouldn't just always take one because somebody offers it to you. It might not be a better situation. Like Indy's a dumpster fire.
Yeah.
Speaking of new coaches, Sean Payton was
Back in the
he
league.
signed a contract, came to terms with the Denver Broncos, and he's still under contract with New Orleans. So he was essentially traded to Denver for this year's first and a second next year. But they traded all their draft picks for Russ. So this first they got is for when they traded Bradley Chubb. Is it Bradley Chubb? Yeah, Bradley Chubb, the pass rusher. They traded him to Miami. But Miami had that pick from San Francisco from back in the day. It's whatever. It's like the 29th pick. But yeah, so Sean Payton back in the league, coaching Russ, dangerous. Whatever nickname he's going
So
by.
they're keeping Russell Wilson?
Bro, they have no choice. They gave that man a quarter bill, man. They gave him $250. He's not going nowhere, bro. That dead cap, if they were to like trade or release him, bro, it would be like almost half of this contract for a year. Like that would like gut their team. They're not there. Russ is gonna be there. But what's good about that is like we know Sean Payton's an innovator and he's gotten busy, with Drew Brees. Well, I think that's not even a fair comparison. I think Russ is a good player. He ain't nowhere near what Drew Brees was.
I would compare Russ to Teddy Bridgewater.
See, that's just disrespectful. I'm not gonna take it there. I can't co-sign that one. That's crazy. I give Russ more credit than that. The dude is like an 8-time Pro Bowler.
I won't give him that.
He's a Super Bowl champion. He's an All-Pro.
Yeah, former. These are all
former. But like,
former.
And I've heard people
but
say
right
this.
Now,
they're like, oh,
right
if he retired, would he be a Hall of Famer? Like, are you joking? Of course Russ is a Hall of Famer.
He won a Super Bowl. Yeah, he'd be a Hall of Famer.
Not first ballot, though. Not first ballot, but he'd be a Hall of Famer, though. Come on. I think Russ is fine, bro. He's okay. He's never been the best quarterback in the league. So why Denver decided to pay him like the best quarterback in the league, that's beyond me. I don't know what that means. I don't know. I understand the market's the market, but stop it. Like, Russ is cool in that system with Pete Carroll. We just watched Geno make the Pro Bowl. I thought Geno was out of the league. I was like, yo, Geno's still in the league? What are you talking about? He's going to start for the Seahawks. I thought Geno was out of the league, and look at what he's doing.
He just needed his time to shine.
That might be an indictment on Russ. It might be.
Because Russ, I told you, man.
I'm not going to say
Russ
he's Teddy Bridgewater.
Is Teddy Bridgewater.
I'm not going to say that.
Teddy Bridgewater.
Nah, that's nasty.
I don't think it. I think it's a fair comparison. I don't think it's disrespectful.
I think that is unholy.
Look, there's something wrong. I told you, man. There's something wrong with Russ, dude. Because when your offensive line does not want to block for you,
any given Sunday,
when your offensive line doesn't want to scoop you up off the floor, there's something wrong with you, dude.
That's an any given Sunday shit.
You see how offensive linemen are with their quarterbacks all around the league. Yeah. All around the league.
Mm-hmm.
Win, lose, or draw. You see how they are with their quarterback.
It's my quarterback.
Denver.
My quarterback.
The Denver offensive lineman can give a fuck about Russell the Bum Wilson.
Listen, okay. There's some credence to what you're saying. All I'm going to say is that they probably look at Russ as like a cornball, bro. Like the world probably looks at Russ. And like he's like playing a character. Like he can't really be this person that he is in the media. Like he can't really be that human because that's not even like a real person. The way he says shit and the stuff that he says, it's like, come on, bro. With that being said, I don't know who was like, people are like shocked that Denver didn't do nothing this year and they fired the coach and all this good stuff. I'm like, who was saying that Russ going there was going to change your franchise? Like, that's what I'm fucked up at. That's what's got me fucked
Because
up.
those receivers can't stay healthy, and they like to drop balls.
Jerry Judy's cool. He would probably be the worst of all these, like, this run of Alabama receivers that are fucking fantastic, like Amari Cooper and Julio Jones and Devontae Smith and all them boys. Maybe Henry Ruggs, but that's another show. We don't even want to talk about his thing, but like Jerry Judy might be the worst of those receivers. And that's not saying that he's bad. He's just, he's a good player. And like Hamlin or Hamler, like they've got some weapons, man. They got Noah Fant, right? Don't they have no? Or did they have to trade him? I think Denver might have had to trade him to Seattle. Either way, man, he had some weapons out there, and their defense is fucking great. Like their defense was really good, and that's with them losing Von Miller last year and trading Bradley Chubb this year, and they still were one of the best defenses. I don't think Russ is the problem per se. I think the expectations were the problem because my thing was you're going into a division with Patrick Mahomes and Justin Herbert.
Yeah.
Was he supposed to win it? Like, I'm confused. Like, you are easily the third best quarterback, maybe the fourth with Derek Carr. Y'all about to, like, see, that's even disrespectful because Derek Carr, he doesn't have the accolades that Russ has. Like, I don't want to forget the things that Russ has done in his career. This year was terrible. He looked awful. But I remember not that long ago, Russ was competing for Super Bowls, like, every year. Like,
Yeah.
And I think that he was like, I think that the infrastructure of what Pete Carroll built in Seattle kind of like protected him in a sense. But I don't think he's like dog shit either, And we'll see.
Teddy Bridgewater is not a bad quarterback.
Bro,
Him and
stop
Russell.
it. Teddy Bridgewater is like, he's okay, man. Teddy Two Gloves? Come on, man. What are we talking about? Like, come on, man. Like, that's a little nasty. Like, come on, man. Like, come on, man. Teddy Two Gloves.
Who should I compare him to?
Russ, he'd have to be
Tua?
up there with like, no, see.
I think Tua's better.
I think Tua might be better too, but that's beside the
I
point.
think Tua's way better than Russell.
I would compare Russ to, see, he's okay, just like the Patrick Mahomes, Burrow. Okay, Patrick Mahomes is on his tier. And like Brady's on his tier because he's still playing. Brady and then like Mahomes and like Josh Allen, Burrow, even though I put Burrow over Josh Allen because he's accomplished more.
I put Burrow over Josh Allen, too.
Russ would be in that category that's right under them. But he'd be above dudes
You think
like,
so?
Yeah.
That close?
Accolades, yeah. But he'd be under like dudes like, he'd be over dudes like Derek Carr and like, but he'd be under Lamar Jackson too. Even though he's accomplished more. But I'm looking at it like this. Russ at his peak, like, when Seattle, or 2014, 13, when they were going to the Super Bowl.
Okay, old Russ, but Russ now,
like,
I don't think.
Even like, I'm just saying, like, peak Russ. I'm not taking peak Russ over Mahomes, Brady, Lamar Jackson, Burrow, Josh Allen, Herbert. I don't even think I'd take him over Matthew Stafford. That's a fair comparison right there. Matthew Stafford is a very fair comparison for Russ. I think Matthew Stafford's a better quarterback than Russ, but that's more in line with like what tier of quarterback he is. Like that's closer to the tier.
Look, man, you're disrespecting Teddy. All right, that's what you're doing.
I'm not trying to take a big shit on Teddy Two Gloves, man. I think he came back from that damn knee. That was gruesome. Like, hey,
didn't he almost die from that?
I think he might have almost lost his leg. I know Alex Smith almost lost his leg when he got hurt. But Teddy Two Gloves, I'll say this, bro. He might need to retire. And that's not saying that he can't play. But, bro, every time he gets in a game, he's out the game soon, like very soon.
Yeah.
And it's like not just like one thing. It's like it'll be his arm, his fingers, he'll get hit and get a concussion. You know what I mean? Like I just feel like he's just been like marked or like since that first like his rookie season with Minnesota, and he did really good. And then that next season, I think was when he hurt his knee, and then he's just never really been the same. Because
No.
when he came back to Minnesota, like what's old boy's name? Case Keenum. Case Keenum took them to the
Yes.
playoffs and the Miracle of Minnesota with Diggs. And like Teddy was on that team, I think. Like I think Teddy just came in at one point because he was back and like the crowd went crazy and all that. So I'm like Teddy's like a good backup. He's like a middle backup, I think. I'm trying to think of like as a backup quarterback, like who do you consider like a really good one? Cooper Rush, what he did this year for Dallas, like I look at him. Gardner Minshew, I don't think Gardner looked good. I think Gardner looked terrible,
You
and
you
he
bring up
started back in the
Dallas.
day. Uh-huh.
Is Dak Prescott still going to be their quarterback? I was reading something that Jerry Jones has done with him.
Well, Dak's contract will be coming up soon. My thing is, you can get rid of Dak, but like, what is your alternative, bro? Now, maybe you're gonna pull a coup. Maybe you can get Tom Brady or some crazy shit. Yes, do that. Because with that roster that they have, if you put like an Aaron Rodgers or a Tom Brady behind center with what they have, oh, they're probably going to win the Super Bowl. They're probably going to win the Super Bowl. They
I
just
see
need
Aaron
one
in
more
Miami.
receiver. They just need one more receiver. Dallas needs one more outside guy. Like their defense, cool. They probably need another corner, whatever. Their offense, another receiver. Tony Pollard, that's tough with him getting hurt. Like, I think it kind of hurts. I hope it doesn't hurt his market, but it might because he's going to have to miss a lot of time, bro. He broke his leg. Like, he's going to be out through training
Yeah.
camp. So is it like, will he take like a 1-year prove it deal with Dallas? But after breaking your leg, would you even risk that? Or like if somebody offers you a nice contract, maybe with like a 2 or 3 years, that way you can get your legs back and like you're still young enough to go get a real big contract, but he's a running back. But he also made the Pro Bowl this year and he does a lot of different stuff. So I don't know. But as far as Dak, that's a very good question. I don't see them moving off of him. I don't see how you get better by doing it, but I think there'll be competition and possibly a draft pick, or maybe you find, like how they did with Romo. Romo wasn't supposed to be their starter. He was undrafted. He was just there. Drew Bledsoe was there, I believe, when
Mm-hmm.
Romo took over. And just like Dak wasn't supposed to be their starter. He's a 4th-round pick. Romo got hurt. That's just kind of how Dallas does that. So I don't know. I mean, the way Dak looked this season was very concerning. The interceptions look ridiculous. Like, there's a few of them, obviously, guys
Yes.
got to catch passes. You can't just catch stuff. Let's, bounce off your pads. Some of those were tip balls, they get it. But some of those interceptions Dak threw this year was like, yo, what the hell is he looking at? Like, that was crazy. And I get
Yeah.
it that he's trying to win, but it's like, he's never really done this. Like, that's what made him good or great this whole time, these 7 years, is that he don't turn the ball over. And that's what he's been doing. So I don't know.
When
I
is the
think
Pro Bowl?
the Pro Bowl is Sunday. Saturday is like skills count. But I think it's going to be like a flag game, though. I don't even think it's going to be like a real game. They might as well, though. Like, there's no point. Game's too dangerous.
Yeah, I think it is a
There's no
flag
point to
game.
go
I'd
out there
rather
and
see
like,
that.
yeah, I don't want to see guys going
But
out
they're
there
doing
hitting.
other stuff too, though, like dodgeball and
Yeah. I think they're doing it like the NBA. Like Saturday is like the All-Star weekend thing. Like they do the dunk contest, 3-point, skills count. I think that's what they're doing. Sunday's the flag game. But I know the Mannings are coaching, and we have 2, if I'm not mistaken, we have 2 Pro Bowl. No, we have 3 Pro Bowlers this year, which is dope. Got Saquon
oh,
Barkley,
nice.
Dexter
Yes.
Lawrence, All-Pro,
Yep.
All-Pro Dexter Lawrence, I should say.
Oh,
And All-Pro Andrew Thomas, if I'm not mistaken. I might be wrong. I think
Oh,
they're both
nice.
All-Pros, though. I think they both made second-team All-Pro. But, yeah, shout-outs to those three, man. Dexter
That's what I'm talking about.
and Andrew will be their first Pro Bowl. This would be Saquon's second or third. I think it's third. I could be wrong. Kayvon Thibodeau was an alternate for the NFC defense. I don't know. Guys decide they don't want to go. Like, he'd be, I think a second or third alternate. So it's a possibility we have 4 Pro Bowls this year. So,
Okay. That's
yeah,
what I'm
shout out
talking
to
about.
those guys, man.
Well, next episode, we're going to cover. I finished up the Ozarks.
Yes.
So we'll chat that up a little
Oh,
bit.
yeah. Okay, yeah, we got to talk about that. Yeah.
We'll talk about The Last of Us.
Yes.
And I'll see if I can't squeeze in either, Thor, Love and Thunder or Black Adam. One of those two. I'll try to squeeze
Okay.
one of those in.
Yeah.
But before we close the show, I just want to say I did watch season 11 of American Horror Story, and we don't have much time to talk, so I just want to say that was a terrible season, but we'll talk about that in the future.
I disagree wholeheartedly, but yeah, we will. Our next
Ladies and
episode,
gentlemen.
we will talk about that. We will talk about that. I'll convince you. I will convince you, sir.
But that is all the time we have, ladies and gents. I do appreciate
Yes.
you guys listening. Please like, subscribe on YouTube, follow
Yeah,
us on
comment.
social media, on Facebook,
Yeah.
Instagram, TikTok. You can listen to us on YouTube, Google,
Mhm.
Google Podcasts, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Pandora, iHeart, and Amazon. And if you
Mhm.
guys have any questions
Yeah.
for Marcus or myself, feel free to ask us on
Yeah.
social media. We'll answer it on the next episode for you.
Like,
We don't
subscribe,
mind.
comment, share it, tell your friends, everything. Yeah,
Yes.
I'm with it. But hey, man,
Until
it's
next
been fun.
time, ladies and gents,
Yes, sir.
have a good one.
Later.